Hello. Good afternoon for me. Trying to adjust here so that I don't have a reflection. How is everybody doing? It's been a few days since I showed up here. I truly apologize that I was not able to make it here on Tuesday. Life happens, and I hope you guys can be patient with me, and I hope I get your understanding. So, I'm here today. Usually I'm not here on a Wednesday, but I had to make it up. And so Sister Elizabeth, Sister Betty Small is here. Um, my page is Learn and Grow with Betty Small. Okay, but I usually come here on Emma's page, Amma Manson Network on Tuesdays and Thursdays. But like I said, I was not able to make it here yesterday, so I'm trying to make up for today. So today, as you guys can see, the topic over there is overcoming our self-limiting beliefs. Self-limiting beliefs, what is that? Self-limiting beliefs are chronic self-fulfilling prophecies, things that we tell ourselves over and over that are not necessarily true, that really affect our life in all areas of our life. Okay? These are the negative talk that we have. Sometimes, it can be something positive, but in most cases, it's just negative talk that doesn't do us any good, and it fosters negative behavior, negative outcomes, and it keeps you in your comfort zone. In other words, our self-limiting beliefs keep us in our comfort zone and don't help us in growing and in expanding ourselves, extending ourselves beyond that which we know every day. So, self limiting beliefs are things that we tell ourselves. For example, in terms of relationship, you tell yourself, oh, I'm too old. I can't get married now. I can't find a good husband. I can't find a good wife. I can't find somebody that is going to love me. If it's a job, you tell yourself, I'm doomed to this job. I can't understand stuff when I study. I'm doomed to this job. I can't grow in my job. I can't get any other accomplishments. I can't get a big house because I don't have a big salary, because I don't have a big income. Things that we tell ourselves that have been internalized, some of them because of our belief system, some of them because of the way we were brought up, some of them is because of the society that we live in, and we tell ourselves, oh, that's not for people like me, that's for other people, people maybe of another skin tone different than mine. We tell ourselves a lot of different things, things that have been passed through the generations from our parents, from our grandparents, that they told us that we never really stopped to think twice, like, what does this really mean? You just kind of get told, oh, that's not for you, that's for other people, and you kind of take it as they say it without really examining what that statement means to you as a person. So we have to work towards eliminating these self-limiting beliefs if we have to go anywhere. Hey, Emma, how are you? That is that is the devil's voice. It is the devil's voice. You are very correct. We put ourselves down and we tell ourselves, I can't go on Facebook. That's what I used to tell myself. I'm coming here to talk about this because these are demons that I'm fighting myself. And so I find that when you actually speak about it, it it helps to internalize and get rid of whatever that demon is. And like we're going to talk about later, you have to replace those negative statements with positive ones, that are going to propel you forward. I am doing good. I'm doing well. I'm doing the best that I can. And that is why I'm able to come here today and make up for yesterday. So thank you all for your understanding because life happens. So, yes, we're talking about these devils that talk to us and we tell ourselves or other people tell us, sometimes it's our parents, sometimes it's our spouses, people that we work with, people that we surround ourselves with in the society. They look at you, they size you up, they tell you, you want to do that? I don't think so. That's not for people in your caliber. um, all kind of things. And so if you don't really look at the statement or think through about what it is that you're telling yourself or other people are telling yourselves and you're taking it like that, then you end up really limiting yourself in things that you could have done in your life, and you just kind of stay in your comfort zone and just, yeah, and nothing is going to grow over there. So, and as we talk about this topic, this is a topic that has become a favorite of mine because I'm constantly trying to fight these devils, of trying to overcome my all these self-limiting beliefs, because personally there are things that have happened in my past, things that have happened like in my family, in my career. And so with time you just kind of get to believe like, oh, that this is the status quo, there can't be anything better, this is it. But then you really have to start examining and ask yourself, is this really it? This can't be it. There has to be more to life than this. And so you start examining and drilling down these statements and negative comments that you tell yourself, and find exactly why do you tell yourself that, or why do you feel like that. To me, I find that when I really try to drill down that statement or comment somebody made to me, or something that I tell myself all the time, the more I stop and really think about it and look through it, it helps me to understand why is it that I feel that way. And thus, it helps me to look at other possibilities and other opportunities that are possible if I were to replace that negative self belief with a positive one. Okay. So, how do you do this? For me, what I found to be helpful is to look at the different areas of my life. Okay, so I'm talking about my relationship, my relationship with my husband, my kids, my parents, my siblings, the people that I work with, people in my community that I relate with, all these different relationships. How do they affect you? How do you relate with these people? Are there statements that you tell yourself or these people tell you that are not building you up? There are people I've met. I know somebody that said, oh, me and my mother can never have a good relationship. Me and my mother are done. And at the first thought, you're like, how can you say that about your mother? Your mother gave you life, and but things happen in people's life that sometimes push people to the wall, and they're like, I just can't have any relationship with this person. So sometimes I go slow, especially when it comes to people's family members, because you never know. But what I would say is, once you examine what are those statements that people are saying or you're telling yourself, in terms of your relationship with all these people that I've talked about, then you try to find a positive, something positive out, um, of the negative statements that you are telling yourself or you're being told. Try to replace it with something positive and see what difference that makes. Okay, if it makes any difference. If it's your finances and you've always told yourself, oh, this is the lifestyle that I was born into, this is, I know, I don't want to say the word mediocre. But sometimes you find yourself in some mediocre circumstances and you just tell yourself, oh, this is what I can afford. I'm going to try to live within my means. And it just puts you in that box whereby you are not trying to do anything at all. because you're like, okay, this is what my income is, and so I just need to live within this means. So what that means is you're not going to push yourself to try and do anything extra. Why? Because you already told yourself this is who you are. This is all the income that you can make. So you can either choose to stay within those boundaries or push those boundaries out. Tell yourself, hey, I deserve some good things. I deserve to get a good car. I deserve to get a good home. I deserve uh, to help, children in with parents who cannot be able to pay their tuition. Whatever it is that you need to do with your, whatever that you can do with your finances, you try to push those boundaries and tell yourselves that yes, money is a good thing. People like to refer that the Bible says money is the root of all evil, but we forget that the true statement is the love of money is the root of all evil. There's nothing wrong with loving money because money is going to solve lots and lots and lots of problems. Whether it's your needs as a family, whether it's your extended family who need help or whatever, you need money to deal with all these things. So, money, I don't think money is a bad thing. It's the love of money. Poverty is the root of all. Yes, because with poverty, people tend to do all kinds of crazy things. People steal even the things that you'll be wondering, like, really? Somebody stole that? One time I remember back in the day, I went to visit my grandmother. This is when I was still back in Kenya. So I went to visit my grandmother in the village. And the whole place was just a mess. It was just like a havoc place going on. So I'm like, what is going on here, Grandma? Why are people just walking around? People just like they're looking for something. And she's like, well, this is what happened. She had quite a few chicken that she was, rearing, not for sale or for business, but just for her family. Because my people believe that when you visit um, as a visitor, you need to be slaughtered for a chicken. So she always had like chicken, so she can slaughter for her visitors. And back then, of course, there wasn't any phone, so I didn't inform her that I was coming. I just showed up. So I find all these people. The whole place was a mess. I'm like, what is going on? So it turns out that it was raining, and so they were in the main house, but the chicken were in the chicken coop. You know, and sometimes these people that we hire to help us around our homes and around our properties with, uh, work in the house and work in the home and, taking care of our animals, they can be real sneaky. So it turns out that one of the workers had a plan with somebody else to come and steal my grandmother's chicken. So while they were in the main house, it was raining that afternoon. So they were in the main house, staying warm, having tea. Where I come from, we love chai. We call it tea, chai. And so the worker with the person that they had planned, he opened the chicken coop and and the guy had, I don't know what he used, and half of the chicken were gone by the time it stopped raining, because my grandmother said I kept hearing the chicken making noise, and so when it stopped raining she went out to check on the chicken and half of her chicken were gone. Oh yes. So yes, poverty can make us do some crazy things. And this is actually, the worker was a relative that she was trying to help. So the boy was supposed to come help in the morning and then go to school, but this was on a Sunday, so he didn't really have anywhere to go. So he figured out he's going to plan with somebody else and come and steal my grandmother's chicken. So poverty is the root of all evil. So if it weren't for poverty, they probably wouldn't have stolen that chicken. So whatever they did with it, I really don't follow back to know what happened. But poverty can make us do some really, really crazy, shameful things. So my grandmother stopped helping that young man, because she's like, I'm bringing you here to help me, and yet you are conniving with somebody to steal from me. So I'm sorry, I can't help you anymore. So poverty is the root of all evil. So yes, if we can attack these beliefs that we have, in terms of money, in terms of our career, in terms of our relationships, in terms of what other areas of our life, our health. Some people say, oh, I have big bones. That's what I used to tell myself. People with big bones will always pack a little weight, will always. And then the other one, they say, oh, she just had a baby. And then somebody like me, I had a baby 2 years ago. Surely I should still not be having no tummy fat by now. But those are some of the things that we tell ourselves as excuses for not taking the next step. So when people tell you, oh, she just had a baby, oh, she um the baby excuse is a big one, especially for us women. They'll tell you, oh, you just need to eat a little bit more, because you need, milk for the baby, or, you just need to regain yourself back, get all that stuff that you lost back, so it's okay, And before you realize 1 year, 2 years, 3 years is gone, 4, 5 years, and you're still carrying the weight around. Why? Because somebody told you that it's okay, you just had a baby, you don't worry about it. So you keep using as an excuse instead of you taking action into your life and be like, okay, I had a baby a year ago, so we need to take care of this weight. So yeah, those are some of the things that people tell us, and then we internalize them and tell them, yeah, they said so. If anybody looks at me and I'm having all this extra weight, we'll just say I just had a baby. Yeah, shame on you, shame on me. I had a baby, sister. That's not a good excuse, Alma. We just need to head out to, is it Puerto Rico or is it Colombia where they're doing the tummy tuck? I've been thinking about that. I'm like, maybe if I go do this tummy tuck thing. But yes, we cannot use those excuses anymore. They sound good, they sound comforting, but then they keep us where we are, because then you don't see a reason to push yourself extra. You don't see yeah, people believe what you say, like, oh, she just had a baby, or um what's the other one that people like to use? um it's not coming in my head right now, but yeah, that's a one I used to use all the time. I have big bones in my family, that's how we are. So it Dominican Republic, I'm still getting my fans together, because I have to go. I have to go, and they're not gonna, I don't want them to take it one place and replace in another. No, 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 no. I just take it all, take it all, and just leave me nice, like when I was back 22, 25 years ago. Yeah. So we really suck and spit. That's the right word for it. Suck and spit so we can look nice and fine. Yeah, so stop believing these things they keep telling us women. You'll be fine, you had a baby, you take your time. Yeah, those are nice statements, but really they're not helpful at all. They'll keep you where you are. We like it when people tell us, because they are comforting, and it just makes you feel like, yeah, that's true. But then what does it do to you? Whatever thing you were thinking, even if you were thinking of doing something about it, just tell yourself, no, I'm fine. People will understand. See, even this person just told me that, so I'll be good. So yeah, you gotta examine every area of your life, your finances, your relationships, your career, and figure out what are these statements that you're telling yourself that are not really building yourself. Like people who say, oh, I'm gonna die alone, I can't find a husband. The more you tell yourself, the more you believe it. And even if somebody tries to come in your life, you repel them, because in your mind you're already saying, I can't have a husband, I can't have a good wife, everybody that I've met, this is what they've done. So you automatically just act as a repellent. When people try to come in your life, you don't even give them room, you shut them out, without even realizing, because you already told yourself, oh, there's no good men out here. There's another statement that people use, all men are dogs, and all. Those are statements that I don't like them personally, because I don't care what somebody has done or however they treated you. I just don't believe calling people out of their name. calling men like their dogs. That, yeah, it does something to me. I don't even like to say it out of my mouth because it makes me really feel bad. Now, deal with a person as who they are, um, but don't call them out of their name. And really, if somebody does something for you to call them that they're a dog, guess who made that choice? You. And guess what that is? That is a reflection of you. So you should, that's like a mirror of you, of that person that you're saying such negative and derogatory things. So I know sometimes it happens that you meet somebody and things don't go well, but your choice of your spouse is a reflection of you. And so if you're going to call them such kind of names, it's still a reflection of you. That is your choice. You made that choice. So whatever criteria that you used, you own it, but don't call people out of their name. Mrs. Dog, yes. It is. You call yourself Mrs. Dog because it is a reflection of you. The person that you in a relationship, in a marriage with, or partnership, whatever, it's a reflection of you. Those are the things that you looked at and you said, okay, yeah, well, I can take this, I can take this, and then all of a sudden now you want to try and call somebody a dog. No, I don't roll with that very well. Your choices are a reflection. That person is a reflection of your choices, so be nice about that. um the other thing is, you have to figure out this limiting beliefs that you are telling yourself. What is the cost? What is it costing you by you telling yourself, oh, I cannot learn new materials, I'm too old to learn new materials? um, how What does that cost you in terms of your career, in terms of your income? What does it cost you in terms of your relationship? If you tell yourself, um, I cannot, I'm too old to get married, so that means really you have given up on relationships. So that's your cost. You have told yourself you're too old to get married, you're too old to be in a relationship, or you're too young to do this. So once you tell yourself that, you've completely closed yourself out. And so if that thing doesn't happen, then just know it's because of your beliefs. So figure out what is the cost of these beliefs that you've told yourself in the different areas of your life. And if you're okay with that cost, then leave it out. Okay. So, like for me, I tell my coach here all the time, I am over it. I'm over it with employment. I have done it over a decade now, and it is a scam. It is a scam. It is a scam because they give you just enough to keep you on a financial list, to keep you going. But then here you are giving the whole of yourself, okay, and growing their organizations and their companies. And of course they are giving themselves the big bonuses, and they're giving you the leftovers down here after they've already dished out the big large amounts themselves. And so, to me, I've gotten to a point in my life whereby I'm like, no, this is not working. And as much as this is what we were told back then, go to school, get a college degree, become a doctor, become a teacher, become a nurse, become a pilot, or whatever, it's good, but it's not good enough. It keeps you right there, where you can't do too much, because partly it's because of the beliefs. You're like, oh, let me stay within my financial status. you know, this is the salary of a nurse, so let me stay within here. This is the salary of a teacher, let me stay within here. And so I refuse to do that. You know, I have to do better for myself. And so, in order for me to push this financial boundary, I have to do what I have to do to break these shackles of employment. Okay. Now, this does not mean that I'm not grateful for the job that I do. I am grateful for it, because some people will come, some people like to come after, whoever speak. Don't come for me and say, oh, I'm not being grateful. Oh, there are people looking for jobs out there. I should be thankful. I should be grateful. I am very grateful, that I am. But I'm just saying that this is not enough. This is not working for me. So I am pushing my boundaries here in terms of my financial status so that it can get better. Okay. And that means I have to break all these beliefs that I've been trying to tell myself. I am good as a nurse. I can pick up all the shifts that I can pick up, do all the overtime. And you do it for a while and you realize it's still not working. It's you either giving up your family because you're gone too long, you're it's affecting your relationship, with your spouse because you're always gone. The kids want you to attend these activities that you're not able to go because you're always going. So when do we stop trading money for time? Because every time you're trading money for time, that means you're literally gone and your family doesn't have you. And so the more you want, the more time you're going to give, and the more you're gone. No, it doesn't work like that. Something better has to work out. I exactly. You're always grateful, but it doesn't mean that you can't want more. It's very much okay to want more. I'm not talking about being greedy. I'm talking about wanting more for yourself. It is very much okay. So, once you figure out what's the cost, if it's okay for you to stay in the job that you are and you're comfortable with that and you're good, well and good, stay there. If you're comfortable with your relationship, even if whatever issues are going on and you've counted your cost and you're like, somebody is calling you names, somebody is treating you like you're not a human being and all that, if you count the cost and you see that's good enough, then you stay there. If it's in terms of your what you call it, health, you know you can keep on telling yourself, we have big bones in my family. In my family we are heavy people. I just had a baby, so I still have time to get this together. You can keep on telling yourself that, or you can make some decisions and do something different about that. Okay. Then once you figure out, okay, I've counted my cost, I want to make a change here, or I don't want to make a change, but especially if you want to make a change, then you want to find um, find help or find people within the same community that will keep you on the same speed. You don't want to be making all this change by yourself out here, because it's very easy to get sucked in back to the old habits. Because when the going gets tough, it's very easy to fall back and say, this is too tough for me. I can't do it. This is for other people who have um, the mental capacity for it. And you just, you fall back to your belief, like, okay, I can't do this. This is for other people. So you want to find a mentor, you want to find a coach, you want to find the people within the same community that are talking and doing the same things that you want to change and the same things that you're working on, so it can keep you on the same speed and it can keep you propelled. Otherwise, if you don't, you most likely going to fall back into old habits and into your old bad behavior, into your old bad life that you didn't want. And so, what's the point of even trying in the first place? So, evaluate what's the cost, and after you do that, then you want to get a community, get a community of people who, if it's the gym and you want to hang out with other fellow ladies who are working out and wanting to lose weight and wanting to live healthy, that is the community that you want to be with. If you want to improve your finances and you want to make changes in terms of whether you want to get a job, or you want to get more certifications, or it's a business that you want to start, then you want to find people within that same community that are doing the same things that you want to do. But you don't want to stay out here by yourself, because you're most likely going to get sucked in and you're going to fall back into your bad behaviors. Change your self-limiting beliefs and tell yourself positive things. Replace those negative statements that you tell yourselves and people tell you. Matter of fact, if somebody brings some negative statement to you, you, I give it right back to them. If it's something that I'm much aware of, if they tell me, oh, you can't do that, then that's a reason for me to tell them, okay, watch, I'll do it. Prove them otherwise. But don't just take what people tell you and internalize it and tell yourself, oh, yeah, they said I can't do it. Um, yeah, you know yourself better. There is there is nothing there is nothing that other people can tell you that you wouldn't know. I mean, of course, there's things that people see that they can tell you, but you should know yourself better than other people, you know. So what I'm talking about here as a whole, really, it's about changing your whole mindset. Because once you change your mindset, it changes everything. Once you adjust and calibrate once you adjust and calibrate your mindset, there's nothing that is impossible. You have to figure out what it is that you want, okay? And work on these limiting beliefs that you're telling yourself. And then go for it, because you've already told your mind that you can do it. You've already told yourself, um, like we said, poverty is the root of all evil. So if you don't want to be evil and you don't want to be experiencing this, negative attributes of money and all that, then you need to be rich and make more money. Money is not a bad thing. Money is a good thing. It solves a lot of problems. I know it's the number one problem for people. But once you solve that, you can solve all other problems. Watch me. I missed that. I probably said something and you said watch me, but I totally missed that point. Yeah. Um, so it's been fun. It's been fun being here, guys. It's good to see you all. I really enjoy coming here and having a chat with you and, sharing and talking about things that can move us forward, things that will shake the tables and make you uncomfortable and hopefully, get you going in the right direction. Yes, watch me do what you think I can do, yeah. That is, for example, when I started this weight it's not really, I don't want to call it weight loss. Weight loss is really as a byproduct of me trying to be healthy. And so with the intermittent fasting that I'm doing and, healthy eating habits, the weight loss just comes as a bonus to it. But I remember when I started doing it, my husband is like, really? You sure you're going to be fasting a whole day? You sure you're going to be doing like 48-hour fast? I'm like, yeah. Like, I've never seen you do that since I met you. I'm like, well, watch me. And so now he looks at me, he's like, I have new respect for you because, I never thought you could do that. And now here you go. So I say, yeah. And this is not the only thing, the other things that I'm working on in my life. And he gets surprised. He's like, for all this time that I've known you, I've never seen you do that. I'm like, yeah, because I was so much in my comfort zone and I didn't push my boundaries. I was just like, yeah, I'm good. I thought I arrived. But when you want more, then you go for it. You go for it. And then you surprise yourself by actually how much and what you can achieve. So, yes, overcome your self-limiting beliefs. Figure out what they are, what people are telling you, what you're telling yourself that are not building you and helping you in terms of your growth, in terms of your finances, your relationship. Replace them with some positive attributes. So tell yourself something positive and, stay with a community that are doing the same things that you're doing or whatever you're working towards. Don't stay out there by yourself because you're most likely going to fall back and start doing the things that you're trying to get away from. All right. Thank you, Sister Amma, for keeping me company here, my coach. I promise I should make some time for us soon. Yeah, life happened this week. but we are getting in a better position now. All right, guys. Without further ado, is this pronunciation? Yes. Sometimes you just have to tighten that belt and be like, yeah, okay, come on, what you got? Bring it on, you know? And so, yeah, such is life. It's never a smooth ride. You just have to expect bumps on the road. Some bumps are they come unexpected and they hit you hard, but you hold on to your seatbelt and whoever is driving, hold on tight and you keep going. Such is life. It's never a smooth ride. If you're expecting a smooth ride, I'm sorry to tell you that it's not going to be a smooth ride. I used to think before, like, oh, when you get married, things are going to be nice and smooth and no issues. Honey, I woke up to a rude, rude, rude awakening. And thank you for Sister Amma and other ladies that are older than me that are teaching me and telling me, like, hey, if you keep doing what you're doing, you're probably gonna um, run out of gas very soon. I was actually telling a friend of mine recently because she has two young kids, like me, and she doesn't have a nanny and she's working round the clock, not round the clock, but she works nights and then her husband goes to work during the day. And here she is, once the older one goes to school, she has to take care of the little one. So she's only napping maybe 2 hours or 2.5 at most. And then she still has to work a whole a whole 12 hours. And so she is coming to work angry, upset, and I'm like, you can't continue like this because you're not getting enough sleep. And then the other day she told me she actually smacked her child so bad, hard, that it actually pained her. Why? Because she was trying to sleep and the child was just climbing over her and sitting on her head and you know and so without even thinking, she hit that child so hard, and so she came crying and she's like, oh, I feel like a bad mother. And I'm like, I totally understand what you're saying. I used to do some of those things, but it gets to a point whereby you say, I can't do this. I need help. So for me, I try to have a nanny at home at all times because I refuse to kill myself doing all the chores and trying to be the great mother and the great wife and still trying to go to work and do everything. I can't do it. So if I can outsource some services, I'm going to do that. If you're going to call me a bad mother, bad wife for that, I'm sorry. But that's my life and that's what I'm going to do. So yeah, I told her like her sister, I said, look, you can't do this for long. You you either have to get a nanny that can come in, a leave out that can come and watch the child while you sleep. But there's no way you're going to be able to catch some sleep and still be able to cook and bathe kids and do homework and all that and still be able to function at work. You're either gonna something is gonna suffer. And when you're at work, honestly, you need some level of attention and accuracy, with these medications and stuff that we give. So yeah, um, it's a whole can of worms that I don't even want to go there. But there are some things you learn as you go. Some things work in the beginning and that later you just like, no, this doesn't work. Because if not, you work and still more is expected of you as a woman. And so you have to get to a point you say, no, no, I can't do this, I need help. And it's okay to need help because you're human and because there are other things that need your attention that are more important. So outsource. If you can pay for those services, outsource and focus on the more important things. All right, good people. No issues after marriage. I will see you later. I hope you guys have a good day ahead. Um, it was nice chatting with you, Coach Amma. And yes, have a good day. And we'll talk to you guys later. Bye bye.